Mulan came out today on Disney Plus, and we just kind of finished watching it, so we're gonna talk about it.
It's just what a disappointment, man. Like I can't believe that. Like at this point, the writing should be on the wall for Disney. It's just they can't do remakes. They should not do remakes.
No. We'll just kind of, I guess, just kind of start with the story.
There was just so many things. It's so hard because it's like trying to reach into a bucket and pull out a list of all the things that were wrong, and it's just which one do you start with?
Yeah.
I mean, like
the beginning.
Yeah.
I think right from the beginning we're like, oh,
yep,
and then it just kept going. I was like, maybe they'll pull through. Maybe they'll. No, it was just like, oh, all right, this is the tone. Whatever you think from the first 5 minutes of the movie is what you would think for the whole thing.
Yeah, and what a weird way to establish the lore behind this Phoenix thing. I mean, I feel like it could have been something they could have done as an adult, or when she was older. I mean,
well, even Mulan's whole story went from her sacrificing for her family to she's the chosen one.
I don't know if someone else wants to explain the chi thing. I don't know, but it's basically just like the Force, or like she has like superpowers, and it cheapens the whole thing. The whole thing of her like coming into her own and like becoming stronger and gaining confidence. It's just like she's magic.
I mean, I guess like in the grand scheme of things, I'm okay with it. It's just the way they kind of approached it. Like it became more of like the superhero's journey. Like I said earlier, just you've always had this. You just need to learn how to control it, as opposed to the whole original the animated version, which is like, it's her learning to become, who she really needs to be. And then I feel like they could have played more to that tune and less of just what they went with in this movie.
I feel like it's going to be natural. We're going to compare it to what we know, what we've seen before. Aside from the killer song that gets played while they're in the boot camp. But you just see her progression. You see, as corny as it is, and then like she does the thing with the gold medallion thing. She goes and fetches the arrow, and it's just like after she has the discussion with the general about chi, she's like, "Oh, all right, well I'm gonna take."
She didn't need to train for. She was like, "Got it.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna use it. Got it.
Yep.
Yeah."
Because she could have still just grown with it and then developed it, and then it could have been a later discovery.
Yeah,
and then the witch could have been like, all right, there you go.
Music too. I mean, that's what kind of drove the original one as well, is music. I mean, when they always explain in entertainment or in plays, like if you can't express something emotionally, you sing it. If you can't sing it, you dance it. You're missing moments from this movie, like that song Reflection. Mulan's having her moment where she has no idea who she's supposed to be. The montage that she has in training, that kind of drives the story. And I just feel like you're losing a lot of that. So in place they should be replacing the lack of music with more emotional moments. Like we should be spending more time with the father, really kind of learning to love who he is and his relationship with Mulan, but also his devotion to his country and his duty, as a father. I feel like there's a lot of Disney just saying like, you already know the big stuff in the cartoons. We're just going to focus on the other stuff. Yeah. Like the matchmaker. We're going to kind of glance over that. We're just going to glance over that because you already saw that.
Yeah.
And the comb, we're going to glance over that because you know what that is. You saw the cartoon or the animated movie. You saw that.
Yeah.
Which I admire that they tried to do something different. I'm glad they didn't carbon copy and paste. But it's like they went too far the other needle. And even then, like in the battlefield, they didn't see her do all her stuff. And they didn't, like, they made it seem like it was going to be that moment because she came out and she did the whole thing. But none of them saw her. Yeah. And then later she came back and it was like expulsion. I'm like, but we didn't even get a moment of them being like, oh my God. Like,
maybe introduce some conflict. Like, what
like,
do we expel her? Like, look
like,
what she just did.
Like,
even when she goes to confront them and they have their "oh captain, my captain" moment, and and the commander was saying, I'm giving you my sword, I'm going to kill her. There was none of that. It was just a whole bunch of her giving a speech that was clearly rehearsed.
Yeah.
and then her friends, doing that, and he goes, "Oh, okay, well, I guess if you like her, then I like her too." I mean, I didn't feel anything when he turned his heel or when he did that 180.
Speaking of 180s, the witch.
Oh, yeah.
You don't even get.
God.
You don't get really. I mean, there's an understanding that like, oh, the witches are not. Like we all know they're expelled from society. XYZ. There was nothing like they could have done if they had all this extra screen time to do little extra bits. instead of doing Mulan's childhood, they should have done like a bit with the witch, like when she's telling a story or something, being like this, like da da da. This is how I've been betrayed, and then her turning around may have been a payoff at some point, but her just going, oop. Well, Mulan's so rousing.
It was
I'm just
literally
gonna
like an exchange they had.
sacrifice.
She was like, they accept you, but they don't like me. And she said something. She's like, all right, I'm switching sides.
And if they'd shown some of the witch's backstory,
Yeah.
that could have given that whole like it's okay to be different thing, or like I don't know, a little more weight. And her, yeah.
Like being different doesn't make you bad.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah. And if
Yeah.
that's really the message of the movie, I mean, I'm all for it, but I just don't think we got that. Like we had to figure that out for ourselves.
There were too many messages
Yeah.
in that movie,
They're all over the place.
and they didn't really focus on one enough to make it stick.
Yeah.
They had no. It seems like they had 10 writers in a room writing each page separately.
Yeah.
The main villain,
Oh yes, yeah.
forgettable.
I don't remember.
Very-
I don't remember his name. I don't remember the witch's name.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Nope.
Nope.
The bad guy in the original, what's his
Sean Yu?
Sean Yu, so scary.
Yeah.
In
Got
the
jaundice, I think.
something, his eyes were
He was like
scary.
7 feet tall.
Oh my
too.
god.
And I mean, yeah, nothing really remember except his death, which was really cheesy. But
Yeah.
I think one of my favorite moments in the original is where he, I think it's where he tells his like bowman like how many people does it take to send a message?
Oof.
Just one. And I was like you remember like that is a cold-blooded killer.
Yeah.
And even the original too, when he had a falcon, right?
Mm-hmm.
He brought him that doll, and he says, besides the little girl will be missing her doll, we should return it to her.
And then you
it's
see
like-
the doll later, and you're
How
just like,
the
you
hell-
know what happened.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you don't feel any. He doesn't feel threatening.
Are we gonna talk about the is it Dutch angles or the weird cuts?
The fucking CGI.
Oh my
Yeah.
They
god.
had so much fucking money, and they talked about how great Lion King was, because even if that movie was probably dog shit, at least visually, it is stunning on a visual technical standpoint. But like then this looked like a fucking kite, the phoenix,
That's a phoenix.
and then like just some of the other CGI. You said the bunnies.
They
like,
look
what
so
the-
fake.
It's-
You're
yeah,
Disney.
Thank
yeah.
God the horses were real. That was the saving
Yeah.
grace.
Not as thick as the original horse though.
No, body yaddy yaddy, as I said. It didn't even like earn the PG-13 rating
No.
at all.
They
You're
said
allowed-
no blood.
I think I saw like a drop of blood coming from the witch's hand.
Yeah, when she cut her, yeah.
That's it.
That was
That
it.
was,
That
that
was
was,
it,
that was the
Only
PG.
women
Yeah.
can bleed.
I'm sure they were watching that in post. All right, that's enough. That's enough.
Yeah.
That's enough. Okay, we're gonna lose our PG-13.
There were parts where it was gorgeous. Other than that, I mean, there wasn't nothing spectacular. Like we kept, I do wonder where why did this cost $200 million? But and some of the edits were weird. Even like not even like literally I'm just talking about pure cuts. There's several. I think we both were like, oh, that was a little jarring, or that was a little weird. Like that whole sequence where they string up the emperor. They did it in like I think I kind of like maybe anywhere from 5 to 9 really quick cuts. I'm like, you just could have made this look so much cooler with just that one aggressive tilt.
I wanted to like this movie so much just based on all the
trailer was fan. I cried
everything-
when I
Dude,
saw the trailer
I
because
was
they
so
had the
excited.
music and everything, and I was like, oh my,
Yeah.
like I couldn't even help it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that was not even like I wasn't even gonna be like, oh, it's gonna be good. I was like, maybe this one would be good. This one's got a little
Yeah.
something. Boom, and plummet to the ground.